How you doing, good folks? It's your man VA Power right here. I am the Watcher, and you are now in tune to the Watchman's Nest. Yeah. Before I begin, I want to make this very clear. This video is presented for educational and informational purposes only. The information discussed in this video are based upon historical data, public records, and documented research that anyone can independently verify. The terms used in this video reflect historical classification, not modern identity labeling, are presented strictly within academic and historical context. The goal of this video is to understand, not blame, not to give you a decision, but to add clarity. With that being said, let's dive on in.
But it turns out he just replaced it with his own DEI and his own hate speech laws and his own censorship, deporting college students for writing op-eds that are critical of Israel. And
not even that critical, by the way. It wasn't even that crazy what the girl wrote.
No, it wasn't at all. How Trump is banning DEI at universities except for Jews. The Trump administration's ban on DEI at universities has one big exception. Jewish students get special support.
Diversity, equity in Israel.
I mean, I thought that... What is a Jewish DEI hire? Is that why Mexico has Claudia Sheinbaum as the president? So here's Donald Trump here. So remember when he tweeted this out on the 12th of October. So that was yesterday. Throughout most of our history, America's colleges and universities have been a great strategic asset of the United States. Tragically, however, does that include Trump University, I wonder? Tragically, however, much of higher education has lost its way and is now corrupting our youth and society with woke, socialist, and anti-American ideology that serves as justification for discriminatory practices by universities that are unconstitutional and unlawful, capital U. My administration is fixing this, and fast, with our great reform agenda. Well, you know, whenever someone puts great, when a politician calls something great reform or the great reset, whenever it starts with the word great, it's pretty much a guarantee that it's only great like in the Bible, like when they say the great flood, they don't mean good. They
mean enormous.
They mean enormous, that's all. Yeah, so the great reform agenda in higher education, that's what Trump is ushering in. Our nation's great institutions will once again prioritize merit and hard work before group identity, resulting in tremendous new research and opportunities to benefit all Americans, and equality being honored. Equality being honored in American business, courts, and culture. So here's a little bit more. To those universities that continue to illegally discriminate based on race or sex, we will continue our current efforts to swiftly and forcefully enforce federal law. But for those institutions that want to quickly return to the pursuit of truth and achievement, they are invited to enter into a forward-looking agreement with the federal government to help bring about the golden age of academic excellence in higher education. They will agree to follow federal law and protect the civil rights of all students, faculty, and employees on campuses. They will stop racist admission policies and put an end to unjust and illegal discrimination in faculty hiring. These institutions will commit to high quality standards of an intellectually open campus environment, including the protection of free speech and debate. This is the same guy who... This is amazing how he did the exact opposite when it came to Jews and Israel. Isn't it amazing? The exact opposite. Everything he's calling out here, he's currently doing. Institutional neutrality, major steps towards affordability for students, and an end to the enlightenment and entanglement of foreign money in the finances of American universities. Americans deserve to be treated in accordance with their demonstrated achievements and potential. Upon regaining this fundamentally American value, our nation will be unstoppable. We'll once again have universities that develop the talents of our amazing young people and lead lives of success and fulfillment, cultivate a love of country and a culture of achievement, and help make all Americans proud, safe, prosperous, and free. Wow. And speech will be free on campus, much in the way those added free features that come with your brand new $65,000 car. Glenn Greenwald says, Trump says that the changes he's forcing private American universities to adopt are designed to prioritize merit and hard work before group identity. Well, here is the new DEI programs he's forced on Brown University to adopt. See for yourself that this is consistent with his claim. Let's look. So this is from the administration. It says, these shall include actions to support a thriving Jewish community, research and education about Israel, a robust program in Judaic studies, through outreach to Jewish day school students to provide information about applying to Brown, resources for religiously observant Jews community members, renewed partnerships with Israel academics and national Jewish organizations, support for enhanced security at the Brown RSD Hillel, and a convening of alumni, students, and faculty to celebrate 130 years of Jewish life at Brown in the 2025-2026 academic year. And just substitute Black or Hispanic or anything, or Arab or Muslim for Jewish.
DEI has been in the news a lot lately. We've been talking about it, but you recently came across some information that a lot of people probably wouldn't expect from DEI. What did you learn?
All right, so, I kind of did it a little bit backwards. You and I had a long discussion about DEI, and my thinking is I want what I say to you to just come out of my own life experience and my own opinions. I don't want to parrot somebody else's. I think it's useful to just get that unvarnished opinion about this. And that's what I did. And then I went back and I said, okay, now I'm going to look up some stuff and see if my opinion really needs to be modified, if I have to change my views in any way. Because I think that's important. I would say for the most part, I haven't really fundamentally changed my views, but I wouldn't be talking to you again if what I found out didn't completely shock me. And I think it's kind of worthwhile to tell people what I found out, and I'm interested in what they think. I went into it thinking, okay, diversity, equity, and inclusion, right? It's not a welfare program. It's not a handout. That was my opinion. It's not like, well, you're really not qualified for this job, but we're going to hire you anyway because something, diversity.
Right.
It's not that. It's basically saying, you know what? Qualified people come in every shape, size, color, religion, gender, age, rich people, poor people. You can find them if you look. And truthfully, we all have our own biases, and we like to hire people from our tribe, people that we feel comfortable with. And you know what? We really need to open our eyes for a lot of reasons. First, because it's fair, and second, because there's immense talent out there if you just go and look for it. And what DEI is saying, go out and look for it. You don't have to hire unqualified people, you just have to hire different people. I mean, how many movies do we have to see, right, before we realize that, hey, Black women can work as engineers at NASA, or people who are completely paralyzed except for their left foot can be incredible artists, or, a million other things. Women can be surgeons. Can you imagine that?
Right.
So that's kind of what I think of as DEI, right? And it's been around for 60 years. It's not new, but suddenly, I don't know, in the last 5 years, it became a shorthand for hiring unqualified Black people.
Yeah.
To jobs that should go to white people. So I wanted to kind of get to the bottom of that and see kind of what I thought, what other people thought. Okay, so here's a little quiz. Who do you think benefits most from DEI programs? They did a survey. The Pew Research people, they're pretty good. They did a survey about 5 months ago to get people's opinions. And if you said Black people, most people agree with that. A lot of people don't have opinions, which is fair. They don't know enough, and that's fair. But the one thing that got a majority of votes is black women benefit and black men benefit. Do white women benefit? A lot of people don't know. If you had asked me, I would have said, well, I'm not really sure, but probably somewhat.
Right.
And that's what most, 30% of people say yes. Almost as many say they are hurt by it, which is interesting. But almost nobody thinks that white men are benefited.
Right.
14%. But a lot of people think that they're hurt by it. And that's kind of the general opinion. All right, so that's where we stand. Fortunately, the government actually kept statistics because this has been going on for 60 years. It's not like it happened yesterday. And you can look it up, except you can't because they took all that information off the web. And they
Right, not
vanished.
anymore.
Yeah, you can't find it anymore. But when there were people who were looking and they did find out, it's a quiz for everybody out there. Who do you think benefits the most from DEI programs? Time's up. Black people? No. White women. Overwhelmingly. Now, there are a lot of reasons for that. And I'm not going to get into that now because that's a whole other discussion. But I will say that one of the reasons is that 50 years of affirmative action got a lot of women into the workplace where they were in a position to take advantage of a new push to say, hey, we need to look for qualified people. They were already in the workplace because of affirmative action. That was one of the reasons. But be that as it may. All right, so who's the second biggest beneficiary of DEI programs? Time's up. Black people?
You would think so. I mean, most people in America apparently think so.
Yeah, most people think so. No. The second biggest beneficiary of DEI programs is white men. And when I read that, I was completely shocked. I mean, aren't these the people who are complaining about DEI and saying that if it wasn't for them, these other people, that these qualified white guys would be in the workplace and they're losing their spots to DEI people, and isn't it terrible? How is it possible that white men are the second biggest beneficiaries? It just blew my mind.
Did you find out why that was?
Well, I mean, it's hard to kind of track down because I don't have access to the statistics anymore, and I would have done a much deeper dive into them. But the reality is that when you're talking about diversity, so many people think white and black. And that's diversity. But talent is everywhere. It's in all kinds of overlooked communities. And white men happen to belong to some of those communities. So if you look at who benefits, white women, white men, Hispanics, Asians, Native Americans, disabled people, and that's not just people in wheelchairs, it's neuroatypical people, people on the spectrum, people who, are dyslexic, have the Spilkus, ADHD, followed by veterans, LGBTQ and alphabet people like me, and at the very bottom, black people. White men, of course, are not a uniform group, as much as we think so. They are vets. They are disabled. They are LGBTQ, whatever. They are poor. And in all of those categories of diverse talent benefit from DEI programs, and they're all majority white.
Right.
So of course white people are going to benefit more from DEI programs. And they're also going to be hurt the most by taking them away.
We're not free. They control every aspect of our lives. And the sad thing about it, we don't realize they control these fucking white folks' lives too. The only people free is that top 1% of bald-headed, fucked up teeth, gay white men. They the only motherfuckers in this country free. I can't raise my kids the way I want to. What you mean, we free? You can't pull your kid out of school without giving them a motherfucking sheet of paper to say, how you gonna educate them? The fuck you mean you free? Huh? What What do we mean we free?
And in all of those categories of diverse talent benefit from DEI programs, and they're all majority white.
You better wake up and live as best as you can within bondage. And that entails us doing for us, and it starts by educating our own children. Fuck you mean, you free nigga?